Hey mamas, getting canceled. I feel like this is something that is just oversaid and doesn't actually happen. And I was really thinking about it the other day that like people who are canceled are like zombies. Like they don't stay dead, they come back. Like there is so few people who are canceled that actually like lose their like careers, whether it be on social media, acting, music, things like that. And I really wanted to kind of break it down, like why that is, and who some of these people are that just like can escape this cancellation, and why people think that it's like still like a thing, because it really isn't. Like you can basically what I'm trying to say is you can't get canceled for the most part, and I found like an exception that I'll talk about, but before we get into the meat and the juiciness of this episode, a quick word from our sponsors of the episode. This portion of the episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, mamas, you might be going through a stressful time, not getting canceled, but it might be stressful. And it's important to show up for yourself, even when things get tough. That's why BetterHelp Online Therapy will assess your needs and can match you with your own licensed professional therapist in less than 48 hours. They have saved my butt in the past when I was like, whoa, I am crumbling mentally. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely online, available to people worldwide. You could be in Zimbabwe. You could be on a boat somewhere with internet access, and you could use BetterHelp. It's a great way to invest in yourself. And so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. And they have a special offer for my listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/dramamama. That's 10% off your first month of online therapy at betterhelp.com/dramamama. Thank you for sponsoring this episode and making sure I don't lose my mind. Love y'all. This portion of the episode is sponsored by Chime. If y'all have ever worked a job and they just don't want to pay you fast, it is kind of one of the most annoying things ever, because you have to pay for things like food, the roof over your head, and they'll just be like, you want to keep the money a little longer, let it age like fine wine. It's very annoying. And listen, no one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due. But with Chime, you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation, okay? So what are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. You can get started at chime.com/almost. That's chime.com/almost. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Okay, let's continue with the episode. Okay. Let's begin with some obvious examples. Shane Dawson. I don't want to list like the laundry list of horrific things these people have done. I think for one, it's like kind of common knowledge. Like if you were walking down the street, you'd be like, oh, that's the guy that did a horrific thing to his cat. I think that's kind of seared in everyone's brain. So we're not going to get into all of their war crimes, but Shane Dawson was humongous. I mean, his YouTube videos were getting like 40 million views per video. He was so good at collabing with people. Not really collabing, but his documentary style videos were just humongous. And he made videos on Tana Mojo. Who is the one dude that looks like an actual like a ghoul, like a monster, like a ghost, but like lives in the middle of Wyoming and has like $100 million. What is his name? That's actually gonna try me. Oh, Jeffree Star did videos with him. All these things was a humongous YouTuber. You really had to be there when he was in his prime. And then all this stuff came out. He dressed as black women and like kind of made caricatures of them. Like one of the characters he had when he would put on like all this like really offensive makeup, and the character's name was like Shanae. It was horrible, and I specifically remember watching that as a kid, and I think I was probably like 10 or something, and that was just like seared in my brain as a 10-year-old, and I had no clue that it was like offensive because I was so young. And so it's like he kind of really did harm with that because there were so many little kids watching his videos, and he was very careless with like the stereotypes he was perpetuating and just literally being a monster and a menace. And then of course his cat thing. So, he did a substantial amount of stuff, one would say. And it all kind of came to a boiling point. When was that? Like 2019? Maybe 2020. It might have been in the pandemic. Sorry, y'all. I have to play with my katana sword again. I need like a fidget toy. So all of this like finally came out, and it felt like there was no way for him to escape it. So he was like, I'm done with the internet. Like, I'm gonna leave. And it truly felt like Shane Dawson was canceled. And for years, that is how it was. He wasn't posting anything. He'd very rarely make appearances in other people's videos. Mind you, he was still filthy rich. When we say people are canceled, they still have that YouTube money, baby. That went nowhere. They're living comfortably in their mansion in the Hollywood Hills, okay? Like, that goes nowhere. That is one thing that you really can't take away with, like, that cancel culture really can't take away unless they get, like, sued or something or go to jail. That'll do it. However, he's back. Shane Dawson is back. He's making videos. They are getting views. Mind you, they're not the crazy amount of views that he used to be getting, like 40 million. But it's like 10 million. It's up there. It's very substantial views. And, he did make an apology video like way back when. But it's just very interesting how he's back making pretty much the same content now. Not like the offensive content, but just like the documentary style content. And most people have forgotten it. If you go into his comment section, you're not going to find people being like, are we not going to pretend like what he did? And like those kind of comments when people get canceled. And listen, I am not being an advocate for or against cancel culture. I think it's very nuanced and like kind of a person by person basis. I think some people deserve to not have a platform for what they did, and like altogether. And I think some people deserve to have like some time to think about their actions, and maybe you can come back eventually. But what I think the main career destroyer is for when people get canceled is not like the canceling itself. It's more like when people get canceled and they don't want to post. It almost like really kind of resets them, I think. So, like, take, for example, Shane Dawson. He didn't post for years, and then he's back posting videos again. And I think for some people, a break can be helpful, honestly. You can, like, gain a lot of, like, you just have a lot of time to think about, like, the kind of content you want to make and how to make it better. But I did watch one of Shane Dawson's, like, post-cancellation videos, and like they're not as good as the originals. They kind of suck now. And that brings us to our second person, James Charles. Like I said, we're not going through the list. We're not going through the list of all the things that he did. You can look it up. You can find all the apology videos. However, I mean, his cancellation has been kind of like sporadic. It's been like little bursts of people being like, oh my God, like you did this thing. And then he'd be like, I'm sorry for doing this thing. And it felt like for a while, it was like every 3 months or so, like we'd be like hearing about him doing something and then having to apologize for it. So it wasn't really anything like boiling over like Shane Dawson's was, but James Charles's was kind of just like little bursts of like, oh. So, however, I do think it kind of took a toll on his channel. I mean, it definitely did. So I don't want to get like too much into like the numbers and the views of things, but for example, James Charles like used to be getting 10 million views per video, 20 million, like insane numbers. And if you go to his channel, he has videos that don't even have like 500,000 views. So now I think the reason why cancel culture like worked on him in this scenario is kind of for two reasons. For one, there's three reasons, I think. For one, I think makeup content is just kind of dead in general. I was talking to a few like beauty influencers about this, just because I'm like very interested in it, and they were saying how like it's like very dead. Like you see whole like makeup TikTokers that like literally have to like completely make new content now because like makeup content is dead. I don't know what it is. Like I genuinely don't understand why like no one's watching it anymore, but that is one reason why. So he kind of had to pivot content because of that. He had to try out new things. Like you'll go to his channel and it's like giving $10,000 to, I can't remember what it was. But it's I'd say maybe 1 in 6 videos is like a makeup video. Now another reason is I think that a lot of his friends, that are very like concerned about their like image and stuff, all of a sudden when like all these like when he's like kind of known for being like problematic, they stop working with him and they stop like being in his videos. And them being in his videos gave him a humongous boost, like 2021, maybe 2020. No, not 2022. Like 2021 mostly. Like they would do Christmas videos, Halloween videos, and have like Charlie D'Amelio, all like the whole Hype House, the whole Swaybo, all of them. And those videos were huge, like humongous. And they would all post videos for like Christmas and stuff with all of each other and like spend days like filming these collabs. And they would do so well. But now that all of this stuff has come out, he barely has like those original friends in his videos. And that's not to say like they're still not friends. I think a lot of them still are very close, but they're just not public about their friendship, which that's LA, baby. That is LA. But anyways, let's move on to our next case study, Sienna May. So, wow. I mean, she kind of really did. Well, she kind of had two things. She had the appetizer and then the main course, I guess you could say. So she released merch that said like, she's like she was a very body positive influencer. I think she helped a lot of people in that regard, but she also got a lot of flack for it. So she released merch that said, did you eat today? Which, is like an affectionate and cute way to like be like checking in on your friends. But, when it's on like a $50 Gildan t-shirt, kind of cringe and also like weird to commodify that. I don't know what to say on that. I thought it was very weird, and I know a lot of other people thought it was very weird. Like her heart was in the right place, I think, but girl. And then also, the obvious, her being accused of essaying her friend. So, like, that'll do it. That's a horrific thing to do. And, a lot of what Shane Dawson did wasn't illegal. I mean, at least I don't think. Like, what he did to his cat might be illegal in some states. I don't know. But what Sienna May did, definitely illegal. Definitely a horrible, horrible thing to do. She said that she was, like, taking it through legal channels when she got canceled. She very much was on the defense. She was saying how she doesn't want to comment on it because she is like talking to lawyers and all this stuff. But I think her cancellation in the end, like, really, it was swift, and she's like done. I think, like, out of all the people we've mentioned and are gonna mention today, like, she's like done. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember the, like, weird apology dance video she made? Oh, that was insane. Wait, that was insane. That just unlocked from, like, the deep crevices of my brain. Oh my God, she made a dance video where she was, like, talking about cancel culture. And then, oh my God, she just recently made a video to the Dominic Fike song called "Cancel Me," and it was like her, like, running along the beach, and, like, filmed on like a 90s like VHS camera, and she's like, "I hope they cancel me," and it was so cringe. And I think where she really, like, took an L is she almost, like, played with her cancellation, which, depending on what you do, can work. Say you get canceled for something really silly. I don't know, like, say literally when I was filming my most recent video and I was like, I had this doll and I was pretending to be a mom for 24 hours. I was like, oh my God, like, what if people cancel me for, like, beating up this, like, doll that looks like a baby? Like, is there, like, some moms out there that are gonna get mad? Like, if you did something like that and then say I got canceled and I, like, played with it, I was like, wow, that's you because you're all babies. Like, that could be funny, but the way she was, like, so lighthearted about what she did was very distasteful, and clearly people did not like it. Now, she hasn't really, like, tried to come back and, like, make content and, like, be active and stuff, so I don't know if it would work or not, but I'm guessing that it wouldn't. I'm guessing that if she tried to, like, have a YouTube career or something after all that, I don't think it would work. I think she's kind of done. But the next few people we'll get into right after this quick break. So, this portion of the podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Y'all, I have had a rough past week. I literally didn't post for 4 days because I was not on my phone because I was decomposing and dealing with the most stressful thing of my life. But thankfully, with BetterHelp, I was able to talk to someone. You can shoot your therapist on there a message whenever, and they'll respond when they can, and it's super helpful because, everyone needs someone to be there for you. Life is full of twists and turns, and you need to show up for yourself. You can log into your account at any time to send a message, by the way, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. And getting therapy every week is as easy as a few clicks on your laptop or phone. It's super easy, super fast, and they have a special offer from my listeners. You can get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp.com/DramaMama. That's 10% off your first month of online therapy at BetterHelp.com/DramaMama. Thanks once again for sponsoring this episode. Okay, let's continue. This portion of the episode is also sponsored by Chime. Listen, is the piece of plastic in your wallet doing enough for you? Is it making money moves, as Cardi B would say? With a secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with your everyday purchases and on-time payments. Credit is like a little crazy thing, but it's so important. So it's good to build it when you can. And having a good credit score can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments easier or just bragging rights around the dinner table. You can be like, you know what my credit score is? And then you would say it. I don't know mine, so that's why I didn't say it. So that's why it's a little awkward right now. But anyways, so continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/almost. That's chime.com/almost. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank, N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' score may not improve. Let's continue. Okay, we're back. Next, I want to talk about David Dobrik. So, okay, he was involved in a few things. Most notably, like, he had a friend get injured while they were filming one of his videos. He, like, had him, like, I can't remember what it was. He was, like, hanging on an excavator, and David Dobrik was just, like, swinging him around. And then he, like, fell or got hit or something and, like permanently damaged his eye, and got very injured. So, and you know, I think that was always, like, something that was going to happen. Like, you'd watch David Dobrik videos, and it was so much chaos that it was like someone's gonna get hurt at some point. Like, the stunts they would do, mind you, it's entertaining, but, like, you'd always kind of wonder in the back of your mind, like, how safe is it? Like, how safe are the people in these videos? And the next thing that he, you know, kind of did was he did a video where he has this friend, his YouTube name is like Dirty Dom or something, but he was filming a vlog, and this Dirty Dom was kind of known as like the promiscuous kind of character of the group. You know, he would like hook up with all these girls and stuff, but it came out that in one of the videos, when he was like hooking up with these girls, he literally SA'd one of them, and I believe that whole like kind of it became like a bit, and then they like put it in a video, which is like literally horrific. Because I remember watching every single David Dobrik video, and I think I watched that one, and I was like, oh my goodness, and like didn't even realize that like behind the scenes like someone was getting SA'd. So like that's crazy. That is so crazy. And I think so the problem with this was, you know, David Dobrik, it wasn't necessarily anything he said, but it was more like the biggest problem was like rooted in his content. Like, and it's hard to like come back and start making videos again when like the problem was your content and like the kind of attitude around it, like the carelessness and stuff. You like, if you're David Dobrik, you can't exactly come back and like make super sanitized, like not dangerous or anything videos, because, you know, people are expecting thrills, people are expecting all that. But at the same time, that is the reason why people are getting hurt and why people are getting, you know, horrible things happen to them because of like the environments he's creating. So he's back. I actually am very curious to see, like, I watched like a few of his videos after he came back. Let me see like what his like views are at. I didn't do my research on David Dobrik. I'm sorry, you guys. But there is a documentary coming out against him like pretty soon, made by Casey Neistat. Kind of like showing what really happened. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'm like very curious. Okay, so he actually hasn't posted in 3 months, but posting like a few videos a month, 7 million views, 9 million views, 8 million views. Those are good views. Like, obviously not what he used to be getting, which is kind of the trend here, but those are still good views. And I remember like going into the comments of like his new videos, and like there wouldn't be, and I don't know if it's just the way YouTube is, but there wouldn't be any comments talking about like what happened or like being like, I can't believe you're all watching this, man. Like, it wouldn't be anything like that. And I think that's more kind of like YouTube's comments. Like, YouTube, you don't really see negative comments anymore. It's very strange. It's a certain type of comment that kind of raises to the top. Like, one comment I always see is like people like the template where it's like, can we just appreciate? And then like saying like some stuff to kind of like flatter the YouTuber and then like also bring on a bandwagon of likes. So you never really see people just like straight up confronting people in the YouTube comment section. Like, those don't do that well. But, you know, he took a break from making videos and his content is very similar. It's more kind of like focused now on like collabing with people and like traveling and not so much on like stunts and like parties and stuff like that. So, you know, I think he like maybe learned, but who knows? I mean, he says he has like HR and all these like safeguards to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen again, but who knows? Next is a TikToker. You've definitely seen their videos. Might know who they are, but their name is Only JS on TikTok. They oh boy. They have said some pretty like horrific racial slurs. And then when it came time to like take accountability for it, they would make videos just like lashing back at the people that were mad at them. And a lot of the time, oh my God, and they literally, as one of their like things to like gain back support, they were like, I'm going to what did they say? They were like, I want to feature like more Black creators because that was the group that they hurt. And so they made all these promises to like feature Black creators on their channel, and then it was like weeks and that hadn't happened. And then some of these Black creators that Only JS had reached out to said that like they were like essentially ghosted. And to this day, like, Only JS still kind of just plays with their cancellation and plays with, like, you know, people hating them and takes a very kind of lighthearted approach to it. Now, Lord, the thing is, they still get tons of views. Like, I'd say just as much as they used to. And this is where I really say that cancel culture doesn't work, because when you're someone where your content, especially on TikTok, where it's showing its like new audiences all the time, and not YouTube, where like if you do something that really upsets like your core audience, you lose that audience and it's really hard to get a new one back. But TikTok, like, it's constantly showing your videos to like new people all the time. And the type of videos they make is kind of like science videos, like fun facts, like things that like are applied to it's so broad, like anyone can watch their videos and like find something interesting. So they never really, I think they lost some brand sponsorships, but like they're back now, like they're doing brand deals left, right, and center. And like I said, I'm not advocating for the cancellation of or against any of these people. That like that's for y'all to decide. But I'm just kind of like stating the facts that like it didn't work on Only J's. It did not work. They're like, I don't know what to tell you. I think the main reason comes down to one, they never took a break. They were just posting through the whole thing. They had like literally the whole internet hating them, and they're like, well, here's 10 fun facts about the US military that you didn't know. So like they never really took a break, and also their content wasn't gonna take a hit. So there's that. Next up is Tana Mojo. I have personal experience with this because, you know, one of the first earlier things that they got canceled for was TanaCon, which was, I talked about this in my VidCon bonus episode, which is on Spotify and like only audio platforms because they forgot to record the video. They forgot to record the video, so you have to just only listen to the audio. I'm so sorry. But I talked about TanaCon, which was her convention that she made to rival VidCon because she wasn't invited or something like that. I saw the horrors firsthand. I saw people getting sunburns. I saw like the riots that happened at this convention. And it very much, a lot of it was her fault. A lot of it was her over-promising, under-planning things, hiring like an incompetent management team to organize this event. And people genuinely got hurt. People got hurt. People like got scammed and ripped off. I think she tried to like pay people back. And coincidentally, that became like a Shane Dawson documentary. It was like her trying to have this like redemption arc. But, you know, she has done lots of other things. She's kind of like one of the faces of being problematic. She has said the N-word, has like at one point defended her use of saying the N-word. More recently, I can't think of that many things that she did. I think she partied a lot during COVID, which people were mad about. But I don't know beyond that really. But now, let's check like her YouTube. You know, she was like mainly a YouTuber. I think she like tried to make music at some point, potentially. Okay, we go to her YouTube channel. It's not bad. She has 6 million subscribers and gets around like 1 million views. Okay, she doesn't post that much, like every 2 months or so. And also, as everyone knows, she's like kind of notorious. She's like very big on OnlyFans too. And, you know, that kind of seems to be like a path that, honestly, all influencers can sometimes take, regardless of if they get canceled or not. But it's kind of like what you see at the end of like someone's influencer career is it's almost like a way to cash out. Like, they just create an OnlyFans to, I guess, just like make as much money as they can off their like presence. And then, but it's like, it's kind of like now this is just like speculation, but it's like kind of like once you make an OnlyFans, you don't see that many people just come back to YouTube or come back to TikTok and make the kind of content they did before. I think it's very much something that people do as like a plan B or like a last case scenario type situation. So I don't know if it's that Tana got canceled enough because her views are like still pretty good. Like I will say, and she's still like fairly relevant. She's like friends with like a bunch of like big influencer people. So, I don't know. The jury must decide on that. I don't know if you could like say or not that cancel culture worked on her. But anyways, next, Logan Paul, as you'll know, went into the suicide forest in Japan and just filmed a dead body, hit upload, and was like, whoa, there's a dead body behind me. It's seared in all our memories. I remember like literally being like a little grub just watching that video and be like, a new Logan Paul video, and then just seeing a dead body, and I was like, okay. So I put him on this list because he is someone that will not get canceled. He has one of the most successful podcasts ever. He did these boxing events that were huge. He wants to run for president of the United States and like set out like a 10-year plan to do that. This man is not stopping. And, you know, I really do think like he probably had a learning experience from the whole Suicide Forest thing. I feel like he got canceled for some other things, but I can't remember. He said something kind of, it was either him or his friends on his podcast said something like insensitive, or it was like racist towards Asians. I believe it was like about like a K-pop idol or something recently. I can't remember who it was though. That's gonna drive me insane. Anyways, but he's like doing fine, y'all. He's like genuinely doing fine. He really like pivoted his content from like little kids to like suddenly being like such a big podcast for like the Barstool Sports, like 30-year-old men, like demographic, which I think is very interesting how he managed to switch that. Because for a while, like you'd think of like Logan Paul and Jake Paul and you'd think like cringe, like, oh, don't worry. My alarm just went off because I woke up at 6 a.m. naturally and my 8 a.m. alarm went off saying, wake up, Ben. And I was like, I've been awake and being busy. So those are all the examples that kind of like cover all the different types of cancellation that can happen, I guess. But overall, I really don't think it is something that a lot of people fixate on, that just really does not happen. Getting canceled is like, I feel like scary for 2 months, and then you can just fully come back to your career for the most part. If your content doesn't change and if you like apologize and all that, people forget so fast. And a lot of these people are proof of that. Now, mind you, I feel like when you get canceled, it's always in the back of your mind. Like when I think of Logan Paul, I always kind of, it's like this little itch in the back of my brain. Like they did something. What was it? Oh yeah, they did that. And then, so it's almost like every time you hear these names, your brain kind of goes on like a little loop and like thinks about what they did, how they apologized, if they apologized. And then like, and then you think if you like still want to support them now. So mind you, like Sienna May, I think about her name and I'm like, I have like a full body like cringe. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on cancel culture in the comments. I'm very curious and I also feel like it's something that's kind of fading away. People don't talk about it as much because I think a lot of people are kind of like, unless it's someone that like genuinely deserves to be deplatformed, a lot of people just kind of like don't bother almost at this point. But anyways, has been a drama mama podcast episode. But if you want me to read your drama and give you some good advice, please tweet me using the hashtag Drama Mama Podcast on Twitter and at me at Ben of the Week, and I will read it on probably the next episode. Next episode will probably be the next submitted episode or listener submitted episode. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 4 million subscribers on YouTube on my main channel. Makes no damn sense. You like y'all actually blow my mind. And thank you for 11 million on TikTok. Insane. I have yet to process that. So also, if y'all remember in like a previous episode, I was talking about the crazy thing that I can't talk about, and I don't know if it's happening. It's happening. So stay tuned for next weekend on my YouTube channel. That's all I'll say. I love you so much. Ben of the Week. It's Joe.